Hey guys, what's up and welcome to a new Tesla update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over Tesla, let's go over the market. There's quite a bit to go over, so we're definitely going to be talking about some stuff today, to say the least. But yeah, as per usual, if you enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. And of course, my membership section on YouTube is live. The link is down below if you're interested. For just $2.99 a month, you get access to all my thoughts, posts, updates, technical analysis throughout the day, your options flow, which is a paid service by Cheddar Flow. Link is down below as well, 20% off. But pretty much get access to all this every single day the market is open on Tesla. So yeah, literally just $3 a month. Link is in the description of the video. But let's just jump right into it. Tesla closing the day in the green, nice to say, up 2.55% compared to the market with a potentially slight outperformance, but nonetheless, a beautiful day closing at almost $189 per share. So far, keeping this inverted head and shoulders intact. And as you can see, we are spiking about 2% extra after hours on the news that Elon Musk essentially owns 20.5% of Tesla, right? Elon Musk just filed a 13G showing he currently owns 20.5% of Tesla, which is huge. And the reason this is important is because, number one, it just shows confidence now, obviously. But even more important was the whole drama that happened with Elon, how he was talking about how he wants pretty much roughly 25% voting control. Now, I don't know the full news on this. I don't know if he's just always had 20.5%, because everyone expected him relative to just what he actually owns and, you know, how he sold for Twitter, etc. He should have about 10, maybe slightly less percent of the company, but now it says 20.5. So did he buy shares recently? So, you know, I'll look into it more. Maybe I'll hopefully have a better update for you tomorrow, but this is pretty much the news that came out that is spiking Tesla right now after hours. It's extremely bullish, and we'll see how the market actually reacts to it tomorrow in the actual regular trading hours. That's going to be pretty interesting to see, to say the least, but it's damn bullish, and that was one of the major catalysts that was definitely weighing Tesla down as well, right? Because Elon is, well, he's Elon. So we'll see how that plays out tomorrow, but obviously pretty damn good news. So let's talk about the actual technical aspect itself. So there's a few important things to understand here. So like I said yesterday, you know, we have this inverted head and shoulders playing out, right? And so far it's so good, right? So far it's holding beautifully, and this is exactly what we want to be seeing. And, you know, we held exactly where we needed to. It was a bit of a rough day to start the day, but we re-broke out of this channel, which is great to see. I was kind of worried that we wouldn't. That could have been pretty bearish if we didn't. But, you know, we overall, like I said, from back here, came down to my price target of about 182. So far held. And like I said, as long as we hold 182 to 180, it's bullish. It's looking bullish. And the inverted head and shoulders is there. And there's really not much else to say about that right now. Obviously, with that being said, in order for this inverted head and shoulders to truly play out, you really want to be breaking between 193 to as high as about 195. Like that rough $2 price range is the level that we need to break. Hopefully tomorrow we can do it with this gap up and on this news, especially once the market opens and it really truly digests and reacts to this news, which should be bullish. We'll see. Can still be a bull trap. Let's not get too, you know, emotional, even for the good news, of course, right? Because this still can be a bull trap. But so far, so good. We'll take it a step by a time. But like I said, the main thing you want to be breaking for the bulls and ideally holding above and even turning into a support is pretty much 193 to 195. If that happens, very bullish. This bottom should be in for the short to medium term. And I think for the gap fill up at around this, you know, 210-ish level should be almost a guarantee, right? Like I say almost, because again, nothing is a guarantee, but it should be looking pretty darn good. Let's just say that. Now, that's the main thing I'll be looking at. Now, the thing I want to talk about once again is going to be this, right? Now, I brought up a lot of similarities to how the way we're currently trading down here and bottoming out down here is extremely similar. Like, shockingly similar to the way we did back in the October lows, before we did get a beautiful bottom, a beautiful bounce, and a pretty nice respectable rally. I mean, if you look at the rally from the bottom over here all the way to up here, right, it's a 35, 36 roughly percent rally. Now, I'm not saying necessarily that that's exactly what we'll get. It's not impossible, but, you know, just for fun, let's just say assuming we get a rough rally like that, let's say about a 35-ish% rally, that will bring us back into the 230s, right? Which is pretty much exactly where that 200-day moving average is on the daily. So absolutely not out of the equation. I don't think we'll just rocket there, though you never know with Tesla, right? I'm sure there's a lot of people shorting it, so this could be a short squeeze. Who knows for sure, but looking pretty good. I like that. I like to see that. So the way I'll be looking at it is as follows, right? So again, like I said, we had a gap down. We had a gap down, right? We had a lot of trading sideways, right? Same concept. We had a, you know, massive drawdown. Then we little, you know, rally to the upside, massive drawdown, little rally to the upside, went even lower, nice little, pretty much red into green candle, beautiful rally back up, sideways a tiny bit, we gap back down, not gap back down, but we had a massive sell-off, essentially, massive sell-off yesterday on the CPI print, pretty much exactly it. And then, like I said, today should be a nice, white. Oh, I keep saying white because my candles are white. Green day, and that's exactly what we got. A nice bullish green day with a little bit of pain to start. Right in the morning, we had a bit of pain. It was a little bit of uncertainty, and exactly what I told my members. Right, if I scroll all the way down to one of my first posts today, which was this post right here, rocky start to the morning for Tesla. But remember what I said: if today can be a bit of weakness into a nice reversal for a green candle finish, then we are following the rough same pattern of the October bottoming quite closely. Still, exactly what happened. Rough start, bit of pain, beautiful reversal, and finished at the high of the day really, really strong with a more, another rally post the market, which again, we'll see how that actually opens up tomorrow, of course, right? We'll see how that plays out. So there's still some caution to be warranted, of course, until we break above, like I said, 193 to 195. The bulls aren't really victorious yet. There's still work to be done. Of course, let's not forget that. But so far, so good, right? Like I said. And then, we talked about how potentially we should have a nice, beautiful green day tomorrow as well, which is exactly what we're getting here, which this could be this candle. And then the interesting thing is this. Maybe this happens a day early. Maybe it doesn't. Who knows for sure? However, notice how the candle we just played out today should be, in theory, this candle right here on November 10th, right? Then tomorrow we have another green candle, which is good, in theory at least, assuming we follow this pattern. And then we had a gap up, which then takes us into this next trading range that we went sideways for a while before we went up even higher, all the way up to about that 260 level. Notice how coincidentally this gap up, if this were to happen, this would be the gap up, and this candle up here would be this coming Friday. What do we have this coming Friday? We have PPI data, more inflation data, potentially the more important one. This is the one the Fed actually looks at and cares about more than CPI. So understand that, right? So if, in theory, let's say that does go well, again, this is just all in theory, that gap up would be off of the PPI data, which also would be the exact same gap up that we experienced right here that brought us to this level all the way up here. So it's a pretty darn coincidence that it's potentially set up to play out almost identically, even with the gap up scenario being coincidentally timed with pretty much PPI data coming out, inflation data coming out on Friday. So very weird coincidence there, but of course, it is a possibility. So just keep that in mind. Now, again, like I said the other day, right, on top of also having to break this 193 to 195-ish level, which, like I said, is to play out this inverted head and shoulders, we also have the 21 EMA sitting at pretty much right around that same level. It's sitting at right now, currently about 196, just over 196. Obviously dropping daily, but it's going to be pretty much meeting us at right roughly that 195-ish level. So again, if we can break above this that level that I talked about, 193 to 195, close above it, and of course also close above the 21 EMA, just even like maybe like $1-ish above that, it's looking good. Now it's going to be a lot of work and it'll be really difficult, but if we can break above those levels and start holding above those levels, extremely bullish. And I think Tesla I really do think it's bottomed here. Now, again, maybe not literally bottomed and it'll never come down in here again or lower. That is still a possibility. Don't get me wrong. I'm not excluding that whatsoever down the road. But short, potentially even medium term. When I say medium term, I mean like a couple of months roughly. I think this would be the bottom. I'd be pretty convinced this is the bottom. And then we'd potentially run up all the way up to the very least, right? So this gap up and this kind of sideways action would pretty much be somewhere around the low 200s, roughly around the earnings gap fill, right? We kind of gap fill and go sideways, kind of like we did here. And then this rally that goes up even further, again, assuming we follow a similar trajectory, which again, you have to remember, so far we've been following very similar trajectories ever since we've been in here. We dropped down about, why isn't it working? Let me go right here. We dropped down about 29% here. Then again, if you go from here to here, pretty much the exact same percentage. And then from here to here, almost the exact same percentage, almost the exact same, like literally like 1 or 2% off. So that's played out pretty much the same way. Now, obviously the candles themselves are slightly different. It's not literally the same candles, obviously, but the idea, the formation, the overall pattern is extremely similar, right? But this thing that's interesting is the pattern upwards is also extremely similar. From the bottoming all the way to where we topped out, this has been a rally of about 30%. Let's take a look at this one. From the bottom down over here, we rallied up a little bit higher, this one, right? This one was a tiny bit higher, 34% roughly. Let's take a look at, oh boy, go ahead and put that back there. Let's take a look at potentially, if we do the same thing over here, that will bring us all the way up to about $240, about 39%. But let's say we go up roughly the same percentages, which is around the low 30s, right? That will bring us somewhere around pretty much $230, which is of course going to be that 200-day moving average, and of course that massive resistance that we do have that will act as a resistance, which is going to be right around this area that we did trade sideways for quite a while. A lot of support in this area, a lot of support here as well, which now of course will turn into a resistance, and that's going to be probably my like final price target. Like this is where I'd be looking at Tesla potentially coming, you know, in the next month, maybe less. Who knows with Tesla, but that's going to be the main thing I'll be looking at as well. But again, to make it simple, the levels are as follows to the upside and to break and to continue upwards. 193 to 195 opens up the possibility of the gap fill at around 210. 210 break, and we go higher than that, of course, opens up the possibility. And even honestly, just breaking above 195, I still think opens up the possibility of going up as high as about the low 230s. Again, for that 200-day moving average, the retest of the breakdown, which also is around the low 230s. And that's going to be the main level I'll be overall looking at. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see if this news is finally the catalyst that needs to really push Tesla up forward, right? It is selling off a little bit, right? People are taking a little bit of profit. We'll see how it actually reacts tomorrow when the market opens, but still up a nice solid percent, which I'm sure we can't really complain after some of the price action we've seen for the past, you know, month or two. So yeah, that's the main thing I'm looking at right now. Ladies and gentlemen, options flow has been obviously extremely bullish today, right? No question about that. Very, very bullish option flow. Some bearishness coming in here and there, but ultimately just quite bullish. Like there's no question about that. Quite bullish. A lot of calls coming in, especially down here for pretty much this Friday. Some people clearly knew that this news was coming out or something. Someone knew. But a lot of calls came in. There's no question about that. The options flow is very bullish for Tesla. We'll see if it translates into a nice little potential gamma squeeze to the upside for the next week or two. And yeah, so with all that being said and done, it's looking good. It's looking bright. Just need a bit more action. Again, still too early to be too excited. It's exciting. Don't get me wrong. It's exciting. But there's still more work to be done for the bulls to really get excited. And again, you know what level to look out now. So with that being said and done, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. And as usual, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.